In his first interview after taking charge as Group Chairman and CEO of FCB Ulka, Rohit Ohri spoke to our consulting editor Pradyuman Maheshwari on his vision for the agency, his search for a Chief Creative Officer and the energies he hopes to bring into the network. Have a look.
Rohit, congratulations and welcome to Bandstand.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've been in the business for so long, spent many years at JWT. What was your view of Ulka 6 months back?
You know, one of the reasons why I decided to join FCB was the fact that it was the people and the quality of people in this organization for the longest. I have the deepest regard for Arvind Wable as a friend in Delhi, for Ambi, for Shashi, Nagesh, you know, so there were a bunch of people with a great degree of integrity, you know, and not just integrity in terms of professionalism, but also intellectual integrity. I think there is a type of person who is in FCB, and there's a lot of integrity, there's a lot of honesty, there's a very let's get the work done and let's not get into politics kind of environment here, which is really for me like home. When I was joining in again, and I had a 5-month break, right? So in that 5-month break, and I was thinking that, God, do I really need to go back and do this again? Because, you know, the 4 years with Dentsu was a lot of hard work, you know, transforming an agency from the inside and creating a new culture in an organization is a lot of work.
But with Dentsu, it was almost like a greenfield project. It was a new agency. In the case of FCB Ulka, you have an old agency, a 54-year-old agency. You have some rather large and old clients that are there, and you know, if you try to tinker around too much, you could well, you know, there are sharks around who want to grab those clients.
Yeah, I know. And sharks are around everywhere, right? So I believe I'm a shark as well. So the key thing is actually, you know, a lot of the clients, there's fundamentally very strong, deep-rooted relationships. But I think everybody, you know, as far as creativity is concerned, it's something that, you know, you need to stay current and fresh and always new, right? So that's the thing that I think I'm going to be able to bring to this agency is some new energy, some new, you know, fun and fizz into the work and the work style.
In fact, I'm glad you say that, because one of the things which is said of FCB Ulka is that it's a fuddy-duddy agency. It's a great place. It has some fantastic clients. It has done some great work in the past, but in the past, would you agree? So actually, it has done some absolutely fantastic work. But yeah, you're right. I mean, in the sense that there is a sense of in the agency that it's almost become the FCB Ulka way, right? So the idea is to add some freshness and newness, and I think that's the reason why, you know, the FCB Ulka board as well as the global management team wanted, you know, to bring in a new leadership and really look at some fresh ideas. And the fresh ideas need to necessarily come from a creative head, and right now you don't have a creative head.
The way I look at it is that the fresh ideas really is not just in terms of, you know, what you're producing as your work. I think I want to look at it as a fresh idea when it comes to the way of working first, you know, and the whole context and the culture that we set within the organization.
Coming back to the CCO question, you know, so have you identified somebody who's going to take charge?
No, this is my second day at work, so, you know, I believe I'm fast, but not that fast, right? So yes, we're thinking about it, and you know, I understand that is a big thing that we need to do. But, you know, quite honestly, I think that, you know, that one CCO who will come and transform the fortunes of an agency, that model is kind of old model. It's no longer that there is one person. Now, that one person was fantastic when television was really the mainstay of communication. So we had, you know, big names who actually cracked that television, that one television film, and that made the fortunes of the brand. I'm saying in today's context, it's really not that anymore. So it's, and I've just come back from a client meeting, and what she told me was really about, I don't want that one big film anymore. I want to see a complete package, and I want to see that idea live as well as it lives in the film in every single touch point.
One of the things that is being discussed by various people is the change of guard, and hence what it would mean to the rest of the old guard in the agency. And there have been quite a few people who have been there for many years.
Yeah.
And so could you throw some light as to what is happening on that?
Nagesh, as you know, is now working on global projects, directly reporting to Carter Murray. So as far as Ambi is concerned, I think Ambi retires as well in March, and I think what I really value is Ambi has a depth of knowledge. He's always been almost the planning head of the agency. So what we would like to recast his role going forward is really about being a mentor on some of the brands where he's actually been working on very closely. So he would continue to work like that. And Arvind is available as well, because both Arvind and Ambi have spoken to me saying that it's not that their love for FCB is like enormous, and they've built this company, right? And this is a company they've built, so it's their lifetime's work. So they would like to help in any form.
So is Lodestar a part of FCB Ulka Group?
Lodestar is a part of FCB Ulka Group, but what Shashi and I are really doing is really we're going to partner and work together really to take this thing forward.
At the end of the day, one has to report to the other. So could you throw some light on how the relationship is going to be with Shashi Sinha and you?
So Shashi is not going to be reporting to me, but what we are doing is that up to now the agency has been a brotherhood, right? So in many ways there were 5 people who were running the agency, and there was a seamless matrix. It's an amazing matrix that worked without any fault, any flaws.
But the Panchayat Raj, while it has its good points, it also means that you need one leader who's going to drive the agency and whack people if necessary.
Yeah. So very clearly, I'm going to lead the creative agency. He's going to lead the media assets. And what we want to do is, and that's the skill of today's managers, right? The whole thing is about collaboration. And if you cannot really work in a collaborative manner, then you're not really fit for today's marketing environment, quite honestly.
6 months or 100 days, as you said, 100 days from now, what do we expect to see different in the agency?
My thing is, I've entered the agency with no plan. I think the worst thing, somebody who's coming into an agency comes in with a preconceived plan of what he wants to do. I know broadly what the big objectives we want to achieve, but the thing is that what I want to do is evolve the plan after a very good understanding of what the business needs are, what are the clients actually looking for. So I need to speak to the clients, I need to really understand from the people.
You've had some existing relationships, long-standing relationships with many clients. Do we see you pulling on to them now that you're here?
The first port of call is really about our existing client relationships, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And of course, when we go out, we'll be looking at every other opportunity.
No names of the CCO yet?
No, nothing.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
What Rohit also said on the sidelines of the interview was that he was actively considering acquisitions. Remember, while at Dentsu, he did the big buy of Taproot and did not stop at that. And on that note, we'll stop here for a short break, but we'll be back soon with loads more on the other side. Stay tuned.